I'm quite thrilled to offer you another coaching demonstration. You're going to see a recording of a session between two colleagues who are located in China. And in this session, the coach is being very deliberate about her stretch, her strengthening of skills and of her presence in particular. And I think what you're going to see here is what it feels like when we're all trying to do something that we're not completely comfortable with. So enjoy the coaching, very instructive here. And we'll come back later with another one that shows you the live mentor coaching that was occurring both before and after that session. I think you'll find that very useful.
So, Evelyn, how do you feel?
Somehow I feel already been coached for the previous part already. So interestingly, I feel better too.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I wanted to assure you before we start today's session that even though today is a demo session, but you are still the client, that you have all the right to, at any given time, if you feel uncomfortable, wanting to stop or shut off your camera, just feel free to do so because you're the client.
Will do. Thanks for the assurance.
So, is there anything else that we can do to make us feel ready going to this session?
I think we're all good. I think my intention or my objective for this session is also to be relaxed and probably to be myself as well, and to tell my stories and to go with the journey in a way. So whenever you're ready.
All right. So, what topic do you have in mind?
Actually, I wanted to talk about my relationship with my mom. As I just came back from Hangzhou from the holidays, and I came back yesterday actually, but still today I felt lots of guilt on my shoulders, and it's really, really heavy. Perhaps I should give some background about myself. So before I went to the States when I was 18, I think I always looked to my parents as my safety net. Like now I look back, it's really a brainless period where I really don't have to think for myself, and I just do what they have, the path that they create for me, and just go along. But things really drastically changed when I was in college, and I read new books and met new people and started to build a sense of self where I kind of pick up values that were really not there in their system. And there was huge conflicts back then. So in that period, I think my parents tried to put me back and I tried to change them. And it was just relentless fighting all over, like, I think for probably 5 years straight. And all of us realized that it wasn't really working out and none of us could be changed. So we kind of reached the status quo where we just go on with our lives. And fortunately, I wasn't home often back then. I was always abroad, working, studying. So there's not much like physical contact time with my parents. Those things were relatively easy, but I came back to Shanghai 2 years ago. And now I realized this problem is really like an elephant in the room. I can hide in Shanghai and I'll go back to Hangzhou. But every time I go back, the dynamic was really just, it was painful to me. I could literally, I think when I go back home, I see my parents, how the way they live their lives. I mean, they're perfectly fine with it. And they're fine with me as well. But there couldn't be any deep conversations going on. Like whenever any of us try to start a conversation on the future or how we should live our lives, and there were different opinions and things were just go back to like 5 years ago when nothing was working out. And so I think all of us knew that like if we start a conversation like this, then there's no end. Like there was no good results. So we were just keeping things on quite a superficial level. But and I think now, as I'm almost like 30 years old, I'm everything, like I'm financially independent, I'm mentally independent. I can say that I don't need any support from my parents as of now. But I think probably deep in my heart, I still wanted them to, be my backbones in a way. Sorry, I get the tissues ready because I know that when I talk about my parents, it's gonna be very emotional. Because when I think I can use the word outgrew. When I outgrew them when I was in college, I was very alone. Like I had no support. I had to build everything on my own. And I have no connection to share, like how I feel, like things I'm struggling with, because every time I try to convey these to them, like they'll just be like, why don't you do that? Like, why do you pick up this value? Like, why don't you be the old self? So I feel like there's a lot of pushbacks and they didn't really keep the channel open for me to communicate. So now I don't need that channel anymore. Now I'm fully independent. I don't need to convey or to seek their acknowledgement of who I am right now, but I still somehow I want to form a deep relationship with my parents. So, and I couldn't do anything. I feel like my hands are tied. Every time I go home, I don't do anything, but I still feel a lot of guilt for not doing more. And I think today I wanted to talk about this because yesterday I realized that my mom was carrying a lot of guilt as well on her shoulder. When we were having lunch and she just cooked like 3 simple dishes for me. And she said, I'm so sorry that I couldn't cook more for you. And and I was like, 3 dishes are good enough. Like it's really, you're taking good care of me. But and then she said, oh, but I don't, sorry. I don't want her to carry that much of guilt. Because there's not, I suppose, there's nothing much she can do as well. So, and I don't want this to be like our equilibrium for the next 30 years until one day I realize my mom or my dad is sick and I have to take care of her, and then we reform the bonding, because I don't want the relationship just to remain on that level. I just want to see what I can do. But now I'm back in Shanghai, so I'm hiding in my comfort zone again. And it's just, I don't know, it's like constantly, it's on the peripheral of my life right now as I don't see them daily, but it's hurting me in a way that whenever I think of it, I got really emotional. So that is my topic today. Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. And I remember yesterday I asked you, what do you want to talk about? You brought up one work-related topic, and then this is being another one. And then you asked me which one is more appropriate. I said, whatever that you feel is more important. And apparently, this is very important to you. So, Evelyn, if I could ask you, you don't want the superficial level of relationship with your mom, then what do you want?
I want my mom to be just like my best friend. So I want her to be understanding and supportive of each move that I take on my life, even if sometimes it's really what she considers as risky or doesn't make sense. And I want to be able to share the joy, and sometimes it's really an unsettling feeling as well when you move on to a new adventure. I want my mom to be part of it, and I want to be able to be myself around her and isn't like always concerned about whether I would hurt her feelings or whether she's feeling guilty. Yeah, just I want her to be herself as well around me. But I feel like now none of us are doing that. Yeah.
So what are you afraid of?
Um, I'm afraid of, just having my mom as a stable part of my life. Just like, oh, it's a placeholder for mom. Oh, so now it's the wedding, so I should invite my mom. So this is the place where mom should be present. But for all the more important, personal times that I would not think of my mom as someone important. I already feel like it's starting to happen. Like when I feel really afraid of something or really worried, my mom would not be the first one. I don't want to make her worried, and then she's gonna bring up her old values again and say like, oh, why don't you just be a girl and be more unfun, stuff like this. And I wasn't, but that's not me. I was afraid these conflicts would appear again and hurt both of us.
Hmm. What does this conflict mean to you?
Um, I think it means that that there was a distance, some like we're pushing each other away.
Hmm.
And I think I can never take my mom for granted anymore. Like a little child, I can just rely on her, and I don't know why, but I keep thinking about that childhood time when I can just really rely on my mom. I don't question whether they're making the right decisions or whether their opinions are right. I can just literally go with what they have. And I feel very safe. And now I don't feel that anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah. But like I see my parents' life, like I don't, um, I think they are in they're happy with it. I'm just seeing their life as seeing like someone that I don't need to really care for, in a way that, oh, I respect you. So I respect the way you're living. Um, but you hold back from, maybe helping them in a way because now that's what I'm doing. I'm holding myself back. And sometimes there are problems with the way they're living, like they are spending too much time on their phone, so their back hurts. Uh, and so I tell them, like, why don't you just, and then I realized I couldn't change them, so I might as well just, let them do their life. But it hurts me that I couldn't do anything as well. But it also hurts me that I am not trying to do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And that's your source of guilt.
it is. It is. Like I'm not giving my best to them. But if I give my best, then I'm gonna be the one that's exhausted and, you know.
So we have 20 minutes together. Then what would you like to perhaps have at the end of the session that will help this situation?
Maybe I want to know the way, like if there's a way I can cope with this guilt. I don't wish that it's gonna disappear forever because I know it's gonna be there. But maybe just a more personal and less judging way of seeing the guilt myself, and even maybe to see what's beneath it, what's underneath it, let's say. Just a deeper understanding of it.
And if you have that, how would that make a difference to your life?
I think I wouldn't feel so helpless or so weak because I'm literally overwhelmed by guilt every time. And if there's some more space, can clear out some space, then I probably will have something I can do for myself or for my parents. Now I'm just fully swamped in the guilt itself.
So when you say guilt, I feel like there's something that you know that you could do, wanting to do, but then haven't done. And that's becoming part of this guilt.
I think
I don't know if I get it right.
I think it's when you say that that reminds me, or I just thought of the old times, like the old conflict where I tried to communicate some of the things and it just got pushed back right away. And so I think I'm just scared of that happening again. Now I'm just choosing respect over effort. But this to me is not giving all my efforts, I guess. Yeah, it's just like, living under the same space, and we go out for walk every single day after dinner too, but nothing, like I couldn't think of things that could, give us more bonding. Just, the gossiping of other family friends, their kids, they're getting married. Yeah, just thought of things that maybe would make them happy to chat about, that I can just go along. But I miss them too when I'm alone. Like when I'm in Shanghai, sometimes I miss them too. But I couldn't communicate this feeling of I miss you, and then sometimes it just means it's better to just keep it to myself, I guess. Yeah.
So, Evelyn, what is this elephant in the room?
Is there? I don't know.
So, say, for example, if your mom is just sitting next to you right now, what would you like to tell her?
I probably say that I love you, and I wish. I just want to assure her that I'm doing well in my life, and there's nothing that she has to worry about. And she should trust me more and have more confidence in me, and I have confidence in her as well. And that I really want to support her the way she needs it. I really want to be there for her, you know. Yeah, that's probably what I want to tell.
What do you think that she will say to you after hearing that from her lovely daughter?
Um, I think she'll say that she has full confidence in me. Um, and the only support she needs from me is for me to do well, to be like healthy and good and happy. I think she'll hug me too.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what would you say?
But I don't know what I would say. I'm starting to feel scared.
Mm.
I don't know, but I have this feeling that we have these transitory moments, you know, in the past 2 years from time to time, but it's sometimes it feel I just couldn't trust that I have that this could last for long, and it's sometimes it feels like it's forcing fit. Um, because I feel like we've lost something already along the way, and now we're catching up. But it's like then you know stepping to the battlefield and it's full of bombs and you don't know which one's going to explode, and just one explosion would destroy everything. Um, so I appreciate these moments. I appreciate these moments, but I'm keeping a distance from it in a way. It feels safer.
What are you afraid of destroying?
The feeling that my mom is besides me. Sometimes she doesn't feel like right beside me. Sometimes I feel like she's behind me. Yeah, most of the time I feel that she's behind me. Sometimes she can catch up and like a mental game. Can literally see the image, but yeah.
So, what would you do to make her going from behind you to beside you?
Um, have this image right now that maybe I should turn back more often.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should look for her. Yeah, maybe I should look for her. I should tell her that I want, that I want her by my side. Yeah. But why do I not look for her previously? I don't know. Maybe I was too in a rush to find my own life, do my own things, and I probably just got this impression that they would not understand and they were kind of holding me back the way that they tell me what's the right thing to do, and I don't agree with it. So I think it's a self-defensive mechanism that I developed. I don't think they're trying to do that anymore. Sometimes it still happens, but yeah.
I see a lot of caring of you to your mom and loving. And at this point, after hearing yourself saying all of that, what kind of realization that you come to at this point?
I'm really struck by this image. That I'm the one that's kind of, rushing, moving forward. And I think and my mom, my parents are just kind of right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was nothing they did wrong, to be honest. Probably I was still blaming them subconsciously for not catching up. But there's nothing they did wrong, to be honest. They were perfect the way they are. It's just me. But now I see probably building my own life and venturing forward is compatible with turning back and looking for them at the same time. And I'm also, yeah, I never experienced that before, but once I can do both, I don't know how it's gonna change me.
So as we come to I think somebody is reminding me the time, but I have already sort of lost the time. Yeah, I think Genesis 20 minutes. I feel sorry to rushing to the end. But if I could just share with you that what I see is someone who has grown up and wanting to be with your parents with love.
Yeah.
And I hope that we have another session catching up to maybe wrap up this conversation in a better way. And I feel so sorry that as a demo that we just have to stop here. Is that okay with you, Evelyn?
Yeah, sure. It's really helpful already. So thanks for the session.
Mm. And when you go home and come back again, can you let me know and share your feeling with me?
Will do. Will do.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Evelyn.
Sure. I'll turn off my video.
Thank you.